Is blindness a barrier? No.
Is deafness a barrier? No.
Are mobility, learning, cognitive disabilities, speech impairments and others, or even a combination of them, barriers? No way. Lack of accessibility is.
Welcome to Web Accessibility for All.
Follow the blind. This journey starts now.
So there I was, on a sleek, modern website. Good color contrast, decent heading structure, even a focus ring I didn't dislike. And then I got to the end of a paragraph where it said,
Click here to learn more.
Naturally, I wanted to learn more, so I clicked. And what did I get?
A delightful carousel experience, with smooth transitions. And no context whatsoever?
I added an ARIA label somewhere, I swear.
There was a Jira ticket for it, right?
Link, click here. Link, click here. Link, click here. Come on, hey, what is this all about? Is this some kind of screen reader joke?
Classic. We've all been there. The land of vague labels and mysterious buttons. But wait, this episode isn't about the usual "don't say click here" lecture. You already know that. No, we are going deeper. We'll look at the underappreciated, often invisible ways microcopy can trip people up. Buttons that try to say too much. Tables that say too little. Tooltips that disappear when you need them. And feedback messages that tell you everything except what just happened. I am Ariel, your host, and this is Web Accessibility for All.
What is microcopy?
Microcopy is all those little bits of text you see scattered around an interface. Things like button labels, placeholder text, field instructions, tooltips, loading screens, confirmation messages, even 404 pages. They're usually treated like an afterthought or written just to boost conversions. But here is the thing.
Bad microcopy makes people pause. Good microcopy makes them proceed.
The real accessibility impact.
So why does this matter beyond UX polish? Let's talk real world.
Cognitive load.
People with memory challenges or ADHD struggle with vague or abstract labels.
Screen readers.
If your buttons and links aren't crystal clear, a user has no idea what action is next.
Language.
If English isn't your first language and the app says nudge or let's go, that might be meaningless. Here's what happens when microcopy is lazy.
Less button greater. Continue. Less / button greater.
What does that do? It is saving a draft, going to the next screen, submitting your taxes, traveling to Mars. Let's fix it.
Less button greater. Continue to payment. Less / button greater.
Now that's clear, scannable, and friendly for everyone. Let's explore some common microcopy pitfalls.
Case 1. Overuse of icon-only buttons.
A trash icon alone doesn't help a screen reader user or someone with cognitive fatigue.
Bad.
less button greater, less SVG greater, waste basket, less slash SVG greater, less slash button greater,
better,
less button greater, less SVG, aria hidden equals true greater, waste basket, less slash SVG greater, less span greater, delete, less slash span greater, less slash button greater.
Always provide a visible label or accessible name.
Case 2. When button labels get too long.
Yeah, I know, this is basically the exact opposite of the continue button we talked about earlier. There's no perfect formula here. It's all about balance. Descriptive labels like continue to payment with PayPal may be cut off or wrap in small breakpoints or modal UIs.
why it matters.
Screen reader users benefit from clarity, but long labels can visually overwhelm or confuse sighted users.
Solution A.
Split the label visually and semantically.
Less button. ARIA label equals continue to payment with PayPal greater. Continue. Less span. Class equals visually hidden greater. To payment with PayPal. Less slash span greater. Less slash button greater.
Solution B.
Use additional context around the button.
Less P. ID equals context greater. You selected PayPal as your method. Less slash P greater. Less button. ARIA describe B equals context greater. Continue. Less slash button greater.
Don't try to cram everything into the button if context is already nearby and semantically tight.
Case 3. Narrow table columns with abbreviated headers.
Designers restrict column widths for aesthetics.
Why it matters.
Abbreviations often confuse screen reader users, especially if they are arbitrary or unfamiliar.
Solution.
Use ABBR elements or ARIA overrides.
Less TH. Scope equals COL greater. Less ABBR. Title equals amount due greater. AMT. Less slash ABBR greater. Less slash TH greater.
Always test tables in screen readers. Abbreviation might be skipped, misread, or misunderstood. Use ABBR elements for universal benefit, not just ARIA.
Case 4. Tooltips that contain essential instructions.
Designers often talk critical info into hover-based tooltips, but hover isn't accessible on touch screens or by a keyboard.
Fix.
Ensure the tooltip content is either duplicated or accessible via focus and keyboard.
Less button. ARIA describe B equals tooltip 1 greater. Help. Less slash button greater. Less span. ID equals tooltip 1. Class equals visually hidden greater. Opens help section with account setup tips. Less slash span greater.
If the tooltip has custom interactivity, consider building it as a fully focusable element with role, tooltip, and live region support. If it's important enough to help someone avoid a mistake, it's important enough to show up without mouse hover.
Case 5. Contextless icons with hidden or truncated labels.
An icon-only button, say a trash can, is universally recognized until it's not. Some devs add an ARIA label, but sighted users with cognitive disabilities may still be confused.
Fix.
Pair icon plus short visible label.
Less button greater. Less SVG. ARIA hidden equals true greater. Less slash SVG greater. Less span. Class equals visually hidden greater. Delete file. Less slash span greater. Less slash button greater.
Or even better,
Less button greater. Less SVG. ARIA hidden equals true greater. Less slash SVG greater. Less span greater. Delete file. Less slash span greater. Less slash button greater.
don't rely on minimalism at the cost of clarity. When in doubt, test with real users.
Case 6. Ambiguity in dynamic content.
Example, a shopping cart shows
Discount applied.
what discount? How much was saved?
Fix.
Use specific microcopy that closes the feedback loop.
$5 student discount applied to your order.
Screen readers and anxious users benefit from precise confirmation.
Microcopy tips.
Break up instructions.
Don't dump a paragraph into a tooltip. Use progressive disclosure. Let users learn in steps.
Avoid passive voice.
Your form wasn't saved.
Is colder than.
We couldn't save your form.
Add context to icons.
A trash can icon should still say delete file under the hood.
Microcopy is cognitive accessibility.
Let's zoom out. Accessible microcopy isn't just about labeling things better. It's about reducing friction. It's invisible when it works. It's deeply disabling when it fails. A good interface is when you never have to ask for help using. Microcopy is that help built-in.
Wrapping up.
Good microcopy isn't just about clarity, it's about reducing doubt. If a user ever has to pause and wonder, you've introduced friction again. When microcopy is accessible, clear, contextual, concrete, it keeps people moving and it gives them confidence. So the next time you write submit, go, or do it, stop. Ask yourself,
What exactly is this person doing? Where are they going? How do I reduce their doubt even just a little?
accessible microcopy isn't flashy. It won't win design awards. But when it's done well, it removes friction, builds trust, and quietly empowers everyone with confidence. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with a colleague. Hit like, subscribe, and spread the word. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us today. Subscribe for a new challenge next week. And don't be shy. Leave us a review or ask your accessibility questions online. See you next week for another episode of Web Accessibility for All.